but and yet you're also validating what they've been saying and their archaeological findings. So what are you really doing? Huh? You're proving the Bible. And at the same time you're laughing and joking around. So you just prove that the creator is real and that a lot of the stuff that are in the Bible actually did happen. And then you turn around and you say, ha 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 ha, what a joke. The creator's a joke.
Was going to offer his daughters to all the lusting villagers of Sodom so that they wouldn't molest these two young men. That's the story. Read Genesis. That is what is stated in Genesis. Lot was going to offer his daughters to all of these, sex-crazed, mad townspeople.
Worst of the worst, yeah.
In order to save the two young naked angels, right? And this is a very strange twist on it all. And so I think what we're about to do begs a revisiting of this whole thing. How the word sodomy came about. Not once does it talk about what we now understand sodomy to mean.
Right.
Nowhere is that account given in the Bible. But the word sodomy grows out of it. Sodomy can be as easily any sexual act that occurred and that was considered to have been occurring in Sodom. Sodom was a decadent city. It was a trade city, a trade center, just like the frankincense centers. So
he said a decadent city, a trade center. So he's confirming it.
The world, one of which did sink in the desert sands, according to the Quran, and it has been found, and that's called the city of Iran, also called Ubar. It's been found. It's between Oman and Yemen in the south of the Arabian Peninsula.
Okay, now you're going to hear him. He says it's sunk into the sands, the desert sands. Well, on the west coast of America, don't you see a lot of desert sands area like Vegas? All right? Now he just told you it's confirmed. Now he's just throwing out some accusations saying it's confirmed. Now listen to his story now. Nothing is going to pan out. But yet they believe that's the spot.
And that was another one of those trade cities. Point being, when these lost cities actually did exist, it turns out, one, but two, the reason that they were lost has to be revisited. The more that we learn about what the circumstances were when these cities were destroyed, the more we have to reconsider God's hand in this picture, relative to geological events.
We look forward to your trip and your guys' present.
You see that? I just told you. He said, well, it wasn't God, the creator. It was geological events. Like, that's not one of the same. Like, he don't have the power to make geological events. Like, he didn't empower the Assyrian to conquer the Hittite and make the Hittite a vassal to conquer the Israelite. And after the Israelite was conquered, the Assyrian started to ship the Israelite all over to America, from America to America. When he was in the east, he built a nation where the Hittites kingdoms are. He controlled this area. So he got rid of the Israelites. Okay, sent them back to America. This is what you'll find in the book Mysteries of the Mexican Pyramids, okay? Mysteries of the Mexican Pyramids, okay? Tell you that. One second. Okay, Mysteries of the Mexican Pyramid. Right here. Tell you that. we, the Mexican rulers, were brought here by our Lord, whose vassals our predecessors were, and who returned from here to his native land. So, I want to bring it over here and read it. Okay, so what is this? It's saying? It's saying that we were brought here as vassals. What is one thing we know about the Assyrian army? They went throughout and they conquered nations like the Hittites. And what they did was they, just like America today, they brought them into their kingdom because it was good for the economy. And then what happened was, because you're in our communities benefiting off of our economies, you have to join the army, whether it's mandatory or whether you just got a better quality of life. Just like today, people just mostly join the military just to have a higher quality of life, right? So this is what happened. These guys conquered them. Okay, so here we go. And who returned from here to his native land. So he brought the Afro people to America. Okay? And then he ended up leaving America and going back to the east to where they ruled. Okay? Afterwards came here again after a long time, during which many of his followers who had remained had married Afro women of this land, raised large families, and founded towns in which they dwelt. So what happened was, remember in Assyrian history, after the Hittites disappeared, and so what happened was, when they brought the Afro people here, these people had gotten so high in the numbers that they were scared that they're not going to be able to control these people. So as they were sending the Afro people away, they had sent large parties of these people with them. And eventually they sent all of them to America. And that's why the Hittite people disappeared. Okay? So what happened was, he came back, because if you look at the Assyrian history, these guys, after the Hittites disappeared and the army shrunk, they got attacked and they ended up getting conquered. So that was the biggest mistake, sending these guys away and sending all their armies away. And then he wished to take them away from here with him, but they did not want to go, nor would they receive or adopt him as their ruler. So these Hittites who had married Afro women, their children and grandchildren, or their children, told the leader who came back, "Nah, we good. You left us here. We don't need you anymore." But we have always thought that his descendants would surely come to subjugate this country and claim us as their vassals. So yeah, that's that book right there, History of the Mexican Pyramid. So if you want to know what this is called, you look right here, and we got Assyrian captivity of Israel, or Assyrian exile. In this period of history of ancient Israel or Judah, during which several thousand Israelites of ancient Samaria were resettled as captives by Assyria. The northern kingdom of Israel was conquered by the Neo-Assyrians, meaning the new Assyrians, because before those people were Syrians, and now it's alright, let's just continue. Neo-Assyrians means new Assyrians, and the monarchs is Tiglith, Piliser, and Shalmaneser. Shalmaneser, in this book, America being the latest and greatest and most accurate description of the New World, containing the original of the inhabitants and the remarkable voyages thither, the conquest of the vast empires of Mexico and Peru and other large provinces and territories by John Ogilvy. So in this book, page 39, it states, a clear picture of that before I read it. That the Tartars, which about the year 1228, under the command of Zingis Cham, overspread the earth like a deluge, were the successors of the 10 tribes of Israel, which were carried into captivity to Assyria by Shalmaneser. So Shalmaneser is Zengis Cham. If you look at Chinese history, Zengis Cham is Genghis Khan. See, in America and in the Western world, our educational system has done us wrong, and they have not taught us correctly. So when we think of Genghis Khan, they think of Zengis Khan. So he is none other than Shalmaneser. So Shalmaneser is Genghis Khan, and later his Sargon and his son and successor Sennacherib were responsible for finishing the 20-year demise of Israel, northern 10-tribe kingdom. Although they did not overtake the southern kingdom, Jerusalem was besieged but not taken. The tribes were forcibly resettled by Assyria, later became known as the 10 lost tribes. So you gotta understand,